want to explain you some difference in between the schools of the past. So you have the French school, you have so-called the German school, like also the School of Vienna, and everything comes from the past and they split up a little bit. So let me be clear. So in the past there was more or less one school. It was the first long time ago with the Greek person like Xenophon. There was the first person that was speaking about schooling horses. Later, many centuries later, one of the first real good books and persons was François Robichon de la Garinière, a few hundred years ago. And then there was some splitting up a little bit behind that person. And then that's something that I want to explain you, because now these days, I don't know how it comes, but there is some circulation going around. And like the other day, I had a call from a really good student of mine, an international show jumper. And he was asking me about, I was looking, he said, to some videos of Philippe Carrel. What do you think about the school of Philippe Carrel? And that was not the only person that was saying something about that. So let me be clear. I've been schooled many years, long time ago, in both schools. I started with the first person that was schooled like the way of the Spanish riding school. There was a former Bareiter. And then later on, I was schooled into a person together, more the German school in Holland. And then many years later, when I got really into that system, das Ausbildungsskala, I went to the French school. And that confused me quite a lot. It took 1 year to make things clear in my head, this way and that way. Let me also be clear, the goal of both schools is the same: collection, lightness, balance, being gracious, making the natural movement better. Okay, so this we know now. And then I will say, in the centuries, that was like Gustav Steinbrecht, sorry. He wrote this book. This is like the German Bible for the equitation. So Gustav Steinbrecht. It was in the same time that this person here in France was also being busy with schooling horses. And unfortunately, this person, he was injured at some time. There was a chandelier falling on him and he got injured, and he loved so much continuing schooling that he found ways to school more in walk, more in slow motions, more in hold, with flexions and stuff. And he found out by the rules of the biomechanics that he also could school even a horse in walk and in hold. Later on, you can go on the horse and you can canter and do a flying change. And you never saw him, let's say, training in canter. So there was also a story in Cadre Noir-sur-Mur of a person they never saw him trotting, cantering, riding, really in good motions. And at one day he said, open the gate of the manège, the Grand Manège, and he did a line in flying changes one time. And they never saw him training that. So he was so good schooled that the horse listened to every single motion of his aids. These things, I've been schooled also in this way, because my last trainer for many years was also schooled in the Cadre Noir-sur-Mur, l'École de Légèreté. So, Baucher, this is François Baucher, and we call it the Baucherists. So, I've been schooled in that way, I've been schooled in this way. And this person here, Nuno Oliveira, that he came later, he's like a legend, quite a legend of our times, more my times. And what he was able to do, he was able to put things together also a bit like I do. I can say this kind of horse is more to school in this way, that kind of horse is more to school in that way. And then we can maybe school one horse in both ways in separate moments. I can use techniques for some horses from François Baucher, but the main structure I give, what I give in my students, is the structure of the German school, das Ausbildungsskala, like forward, rhythm, tempo, die Losgelassenheit, the looseness, and so on. I give that because that's giving a really good, clear view when you try to learn the schooling of the horses. You need to have a clear view when you sit on a horse that this is forward, this is going into the forward, this is going a bit in the lateral. Now the horse gets lighter. All these things. And this is a clear school. You go on the horse, you wait that the horse gets loose in the walk, then you start up in the forward, all these things. The difference with these persons here, with this school, is you get on your horse, you put the horse into le mise en main, immediately between leg and hand in the walk, you make him come together, and then you start to warm up. That's how it's for me the tricky part, because the walk is the natural movement with the less forwardness, the less impulsion by the nature. And I can tell you by my experience over the last 50 years, I think 90% of the people, they believe they are in the forward, but they are not in the forward. So the will to go that you have to have in your horse, may I go? The horse has to ask you that all the time, may I go? And it's up to you to say a little bit less, a little bit more. So, but the will to go, you need to teach them that. And this way of schooling, it's a tricky part for me because it's a slow motion, it's less impulsion, and we are already born as a human to use the hands quickly to save ourselves and to grab all the time. And then, you grab quickly to the horse, you have a control thing, there's a lot of riders, they are control freaks, they get on the horse, they hold the horse, they never loosen up. All these things, and it's really tricky when you teach yourself to ride in this school to fall in that trap that there is no motion forward enough. And the German people, sometimes in my days, they laughed with the French people because they said, French people, they cannot go on a straight line. And in a way, there was a point. There was a point because lots of people, they are so much busy with bending and bending here and bending there and going back and getting into the mise en main, getting into the frame. And then they forget the real movement forward. And this is a part that it's very tricky. And especially when you are training for jumping. Jumping, it's a rhythm, a tempo, which is higher than the dressage. So be very, very careful if you start thinking about the things that is like here. Let me say, okay, it's a nice book and everything, and the person here, I have a lot of respect of him, but he is also a bit gone into more things like you see here, the images, It's Baroque, it's more the school of the older centuries. I respect it a lot. I did it also, these things also, I also did. The long reining, the levade, the passade, even the capriole, the jumping on the air. I did all these things also myself. But then I did it with normal horses, not with Iberic horses or not with Lipizzaners. Because that's also a very main important thing is that you are schooling more or less the horses like the European, the warm blood horses. So it's not like an Andalusian like we see here. And all the things, unlike Nuno Oliveira, he's a guy, Lusitanos, the Iberic horses, it's not the same. They are now hybrids like the horses of the Iberic together with the warm bloods. They cross it over now, and that's again another horse. So the thing is, try not to confuse, I always say, and keep it simple. And my way to teach the most of the people I do is the structure of the German school. According the necessity is when we need a special trick or a special kind of way, we can use the French school also. And I don't want to say, I don't criticize the French school, don't say that, but you need to have a kind of a special talent or a gift to write like François Baucher. Not everyone is born like a François Baucher, a person or a Baucherist. These structures you can learn to everybody. It's a simple structure strategy. It's very clear. And those people, it's a lot of explanations. And even my own trainer, he was sometimes laughing with the French people because he said also they always talk and talk and talk and talk. So that's my point. Be careful all the time. So this is also a very good book, Finger am Wunde. So it is about the biomechanics, and it's very necessary that you teach yourself how everything works. So, and this is here, das Ausbildungsskala, Takt, Losgelassenheit, Anlohnung, Schwung, gerade Ausrichtung, and Versammlung. So these steps, that's the structure of the German school. Also the School of Vienna, the Spanish writing school. And that's the most simple, organized structure that you can follow. I think I'm going to leave my discussion and my view about these things, because I can go on for hours and hours and hours, and I won't keep you busy like that. So if you have any questions, just please let me know. But just make everything logic and clear and in the forward. Thank you. Thank you, Pablo, for filming.